Richard,
So she wanted to come just to give me support.
Oh. Richard, first of all, how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, much more light-spirited, much more pleased. We've seen the photos of Nazanin on the plane. It's been a long ordeal, but obviously the last couple of days where we've not been speaking, it's been very up and down, and it's been getting closer and closer, and things moved on Sunday. So Sunday is when Nazanin got given her passport back. And we've been bewildered ever since, trying to work out, is this sort of an incremental game of cat and mouse still, or is it all moving forwards? And we spent all morning with her sitting in the airport, not knowing what was going to happen. Promised to keep silence to everyone. So, I mean, a huge relief that she's on a plane, that she's coming home, that she's free. And thank you to everyone who's been helping along the way. It's been a long journey that people have been keeping us, following it on the news, on petitions, with the government. I've said some rough things over the years, but in the end, she's coming home.
To all of us here, it feels like a moment in history, but what does this mean to your family?
Well, I suppose that we can stop being a moment in history and start being a normal family again. Yeah, it's been a long time, hasn't it? We were just saying, last night, Gabriella was asking, is Mummy really coming back tomorrow? And I said, well, I don't know for sure. I think we're close to her. I now know pretty surely she is coming home. And of course, it's a happy sunny day. It's also, there'll be plenty of rain to get through and challenges ahead, and 6 years apart is a long time for any family. It's not sunny, you're right.
She said.
Not spoken, so we've messaging. So she got picked up this morning at 11 o'clock Tehran time, which will be 7:30 our time in the morning, by the Revolutionary Guard. And at that point, she wasn't really allowed to speak. She had a phone with her so she could send messages. So I knew where she was at different points. Some points she could speak, some points not. We've not had a euphoric chat of how she is. Spoken to the family in Iran. Obviously, we're all just so relieved.
What's the first thing you're going to do as soon as she's back in your arms and back with your family?
Yeah, well, I mean, probably a couple of days peace and quiet somewhere else. And then back here, the first thing she always wanted to do was to me make her a cup of tea. Which we will do. I think actually we were looking at the house, so it needs a bit of tidying as well. So there might be a bit of tidying, perhaps directed by Mummy when she comes back.
And obviously there's a huge amount of money that has been, forged over. What's the kind of conversations that's been going on about that? How do you feel about the amount of money that's been handed over?
Well, so we've obviously been kept out of the loop on it, and at various points I've been talking to saying, listen, this is why she's been held. This is gone on so long, and this is not our fight, and please solve it. And to this point, we've been kept out of the loop, and behind closed doors with the lawyers, we've been checking. Well, is it? So I don't know what's happened. I've seen briefings and so on. I mean, I'm relieved that the problem's been solved. I think the government has two jobs: to protect people in situations like this, to make sure it doesn't happen again. Part of that is to doing what you need to do to get people home, and part of that is to making sure those who took her learn the lesson not to continue doing it. That second part is for another day, but for today, I'm really glad the way things are.
People have really praised your campaigning, and you have spent years, fighting for this, not to mention your recent hunger strike. What do you want to say to people who have got behind you?
Well, just thank you. We wouldn't have got here, this wouldn't have happened today without all the care and the support of people up and down the country. That's, ordinary people, important people, people in the media, people in politics, some celebrities, but just the overwhelming care we've had. And I remember saying this on the hunger strike, as has been a cruel experience in some ways, but it also has been an exposure to such a level of kindness and care from all walks of life. So I am deeply grateful to everyone that's got Nazanin home, that's got Anushay home, that's got Murad out on furlough, and all of the others who are left there. Thank you for everyone for just seeing the world to be different.
And finally, how's Nazanin feeling right now?
Yeah, pretty agitated as the day went on. I mean, anxious. It's been bumpy. There have been some sort of, scary conversations in the last couple of days as well of people just trying to, make sure that she would be well behaved when she came back. But yeah, a big grin on her face in that photograph. It's going to be lovely to see her. It's going to be lovely to catch up with her. We've chosen which toys we're taking so that she can get to see them, and yeah, looking forward to a new life. And
there'll be a lot of years to make up, with those two to get back together. And
there's a recovery process. You can't get back the time that's gone. That's a fact. But we live in the future, not in the past. So we'll take it one day at a time.
Richard, we've followed your journey closely over all these years. Will that first hug make all this hardship worthwhile?
I'm not sure if it's all worthwhile. I mean, I think, you know, it's going to be the beginning of a new life, a normal life, hopefully a happy family. And there'll be bumps, no doubt, and all the normal squabbles we had before. I think we're really looking forward to seeing them.
As a dad myself, I can't begin to imagine how difficult it's been, all the false dawns, when you got to break the good news to your daughter. That must have been a special moment. Yeah,
I mean, I think, do we still quite believe it? I think when we see Mummy, we'll believe it. You know, it's certainly last night, and probably on Sunday, when the passport came back, you know, Gabriella picked up and said, does that mean Mummy's coming home? I said, well, I don't know what it means, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's going to be lovely. I think really grateful to all of you that have followed us along the way and kept supporting and kept us in the sunlight, which is crucial in cases like this. But yeah, I mean, homecoming's a journey, not an arrival. I don't think it will just be today. There'll be a whole process, and hopefully we'll look back in years to come and be a normal family, and you know, this will be a chapter in our lives, but there are many more chapters to come.
We're delighted for you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. No, and thank you. And thank you also, I mean, I should say it, to the government, to all the Foreign Office staff, you know, and we've had lots who've helped us along the way behind closed doors. Sometimes I've been very, very, you know, blunt in public and tough in public, but the care and the support the Foreign Office have provided us, that different ministers have at different points, and that you know, different members of Parliament have. You know, it's been a tough journey for all of us for lots of different reasons, and I'm really grateful for the grace and the patience and the, you know, the stoicism which they've shown to get Nazanin home.